BB851, turn right, heading 180. Order 14 Papa, turn right 245, report localizer established.
It's been a trying 2 years for the aviation industry with the emergence of the global pandemic. Some airlines will have had it more challenging than others, and while this can be typically applied due to, say, a business model or practices, a lot is also to do with their geographical location, with positioning playing a pivotal role. While European and North American airlines have recovered definitely well, airlines in the Asia-Pacific region have been left lacking as governments imposed stricter quarantine and border restrictions. However, for our central focus today, being Singapore Airlines, they've announced a posting of their first quarterly profit since the beginning of the pandemic, signalling what is finally a changing of the guard and one that is for the better. The net profits for the third quarter of this financial year sat at USD 85 million. 1 year prior, they reported a net loss of US 142 million for that very same quarter. And as you can see, an overall improvement to the core business. As we know, the freight market has definitely been crucial within the aviation industry during this pandemic, offering airlines with cargo offshoots some much-needed respite. Where passenger numbers lacked and continued to drop off, cargo plateaued and even rose to a quicker recovery overall. In fact, for Singapore Airlines cargo, they saw revenue increase 82% to a staggering USD 1.35 billion for the quarter just gone. This is undoubtedly a record for Singapore, and not surprisingly, as this figure is somewhat staggering to think, and does mark for the very first time the Changi-based airline surpassing 1 billion in cargo revenues for the quarter. Again, the revenue is in a USD currency. In the most recent quarter, Singapore Airlines also saw the reactivation of some of their A380 services, while taking delivery of an Airbus A350 and 4 of the MAX aircraft. In addition, with Scoot, their low-cost brand, they saw an A321neo aircraft delivered. As calculated on the 31st of December 2021, Singapore Airlines has 121 passenger aircraft with 7 freighters within its operating fleet. All 7 of those freighters are of course the 747-400Fs, which following confirmation just a couple of weeks ago will indeed in the coming years be replaced by Airbus's new freighter, the A350F. Thankfully though, overall, a lot of their passenger aircraft are young, with an average age of actually only 6 years, and a handful of months as well, meaning they operate, as quoted by them, one of the youngest and most fuel-efficient fleets within the aviation industry, something they take great pride on, and will continue to utilise to their advantage in the coming decades. For their route network, they said that by at the end of the December quarter, the group's passenger network covers around about 85 destinations, 5 up from the 65 in the previous quarter, with SIA, the main brand, serving 63 and Scoot serving 35. Now you'll note that these two numbers do equate to more than 85, however that is because Scoot and Singapore do overlap at some destinations. The group's cargo network does, of course, comprise of many destinations all around the world, as typically there are no essentially scheduled operations for the most part. These 747s can be placed on various different missions where required, although typically they will have a usual routine. What are your thoughts on the latest at Singapore Airlines? Obviously some very positive signs coming out from the airline as they post their first quarterly profit since the beginning of the pandemic. Is this finally a change in their ways? Let me know. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.